Hello, everybody. Welcome to Stream Key Podcast. It is Friday, which means it is time for Phone In Friday once again. And today we have a special guest, TomCruzMomShoes, the coolest name of anyone I've ever met. Welcome to the show, my friend. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, happy to have you on. And of course, my constant co-host, Velokk here, back once again from his vacation. How was that, by the way?
It was awesome. It was awesome.
Good.
A lot of drink.
Those are good vacations generally.
Yeah, for sure. That's the only vacation.
Yeah, so Tom Cruise, for anyone who doesn't know, is now a TRUgaming sponsored streamer as of a week ago. So congrats. Yeah, applause around. Everyone, please clap and chat for Tom Cruise here. Tom, do you quickly want to just introduce yourself to people who don't know you as well? This is not an interview this week,
Sure.
but just to kind of let people get to know you a bit more.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Gabe. I'm known as TomCruzMomShoes on Twitch and, other forms of social media. I've been streaming a little bit over a year, and I've been part of the TRUgaming community a few months. I loved it when I came in. Everybody was super welcoming, and I just really love communities that are open to discussing streaming kind of as a quote-unquote art form, and it kind of it connected with me personally. So I'm really happy to be here. I'm really proud to be called a sponsored streamer, and that's pretty much it.
Sure. Awesome, dude. Yeah, I mean, streaming is definitely becoming more and more of an art form as we kind of understand it more. So I definitely agree with you on that front. But yeah, guys, this is Phone In Friday, which means you guys can call into the show, ask your own questions related to Twitch, streaming, bring up a hot topic or take whatever you want to talk about. You can do so. Of course, we prefer you to ask questions via the Discord because you can actually come on and put your beautiful voice on the podcast and do that way. So if you want to join the Discord via our chat, links there. You just join the Join Here waiting room. Otherwise, you can also just ask questions via chat if you can't get into voice for whatever reason. That is always okay too. So with that said, Velokk, how's your week been, dude? How's your streaming week been?
It's been great. Been playing a lot of Fortnite as always, and maybe a win this week. So.
A single win.
Yeah, high octane gameplay that I provide in my channel. So
as always, I see you're rocking your new shirt there, by the way.
Oh, weird.
Interesting.
What? Wow. Okay, I didn't even realize I was wearing it.
Wow.
So weird.
How'd that happen?
Oh man. Well, I don't know.
By the way, guys,
All those on the website.
Available now at TRUgaming.com/VelokTV.
No way. You don't say. You mean you can buy this shirt?
What?
Right now?
Wow.
The shirt that wow,
guys,
that is
we talked last week about selling out, and we figured we'd just kick the stream off right with it right away this week. So yeah, continuity. Tom Cruise, how's your streaming going, dude? Have you been having a good week?
I have. I had a really great week. I didn't mention that I kind of stream part-time as a hobby. I think that's important for people to know. So when I give my opinion about things, they kind of know where I'm coming from.
Sure.
And I stream all kinds of games, but mostly I stream Tom Clancy's A Division. Earlier this week, I got hosted by 400 viewers or something. So that was really cool by a pretty big content creator. So the week has been going really well as far as streaming goes. So yeah.
Nice. Awesome. Cap has said that the bot shut out the wrong channel. Oh, that's for Tom Cruise. Yeah. Make sure you do not put a period at the end of his name if you want to see his channel. But yeah, anyway, I want to start this week before we get some callers in here just talking about Twitch news. Some interesting stuff coming this week. So I didn't really think there was a lot till I looked into it. That's kind of how it always goes. Twitch likes to slip things under the radar, it seems like. The biggest thing I saw was that you can now support multiple extensions on your video overlay. So you can already do extensions below the stream, like panels. You can do multiple of those. That's been there. But as of this week, you can now put multiple extensions on your actual stream. So the Streamlabs one, where you can interact with it and click the chests. The clone drone danger zone thing, where you can interact with the actual game. Anything that covers the screen itself on stream, you can now put multiple of those on at once, which is pretty nice. One of the other ones is the little sub reminder thing for Amazon Prime, very basic one. So I haven't really played around with it yet. I don't know if you guys use a lot of extensions on your video screen. If you're interested in this,
one.
Yeah.
Which
I
one?
use two.
Which one do you guys use?
I use the the clone drone and the danger zone one, if that counts. That's the only extension I've used that people can like click on and stuff.
Sure, that counts.
Yeah, I used the streaming schedule one and then the Amazon Gear.
Oh, okay.
Just to list my, my PC setup.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, the Gear is nice. For sure. I recommend everyone use that one generally. Couple other things. Yu-Gi-Oh's coming back to the Twitch verse. I don't know if you guys followed that last time at all.
Nope.
I think it's pretty funny. I've watched it sometimes in the past. I don't even like Yu-Gi-Oh, but just watching chat react to stuff is hilarious.
Yeah, you don't have to stop by for that then.
Yeah, anything like that. I mean, I haven't watched like the Doctor Who stuff at all. I don't know if you guys have. They've done stuff with that in the past with a lot of different things. I mean, Twitch plays Pokemon is like the biggest thing I can think of. But
right,
yeah,
Right.
That's always kind of cool to see how people react to that. TwitchCon opens submissions for whatever you want to add to it. So like art, speedruns, cosplay, panels, etc. All that. You can submit to that if you want to be featured at TwitchCon for something. So I don't know if you guys are thinking about that at all, or just
I've
going to
considered doing a
TwitchCon.
panel, but
Yeah?
I'm not sure yet. Yeah, I thought about doing one because like I know a lot of people liked the podcast that we did about like stream energy and stuff like that. So I was thinking about doing that, but then again, I'm petrified of speaking in front of people like that. So
Right. Yeah.
probably am not gonna do it, to be honest. But it's something I'm considering for sure.
Sure. I got you.
I didn't consider a panel. I am going to be at TwitchCon though, so I'm really excited
Nice.
about that.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
There you go. What do you? Is it your first time at TwitchCon? You've been before?
Never been.
No?
Never been.
Okay.
No, I didn't go last year. Yeah, as soon as they announced where it was, I bought my flight because I don't wait for things. And a couple of other content creator friends and I rented a house, so
That's awesome, man.
I don't know how that's gonna end up, but we'll see how it goes.
That's sweet, dude.
I believe, dude. It's a really fun experience from last year. We were both there, so hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully you have everything squared away with hotels and travel and all
You'll
that.
enjoy
'cause-
it.
Yeah.
I watched a video of you guys there. That was pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
You'll definitely enjoy
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Man,
yeah.
Man,
So
that
much
was a
fun.
cool video. I wonder who made that video.
Weird. I wonder who was
Some
Huh,
guy.
so weird. Yeah, we've been thinking about doing a panel too, either with like streaming stuff or like sponsorship kind of side of things. People have talked about that, so we're looking into it. Haven't really nailed down anything just yet. A few other minor things that I saw. They updated the highlighter for if you want to make highlights to your channel, so now you can do like multiple highlights at once, which is kind of nice. If you just want to do like a whole like reacts to or just like clip all the good moments from your stream, you can do it really quickly now. So that's kind of
Really?
nice. Yeah, it's pretty quick. You
I
can
don't
like
know anything about that.
select multiple things at once, name them all, export them all to YouTube if you want to. It's pretty quick. There's still some big issues with it though, where like if you clip something or highlight it, it'll not exactly highlight it right. So it'll pick like before and after where you actually picked to highlight. So
Weird.
it's not perfect, but it's
Right.
okay. Last thing I saw was that New York Times put out an article about Twitch saying that it was, quote, the undisputed king of live streaming and there's no signs of that changing anytime soon. And I agree with that. Because we've talked
Yeah.
about that on the show before sometimes.
Yeah, we talk about that a lot.
Yeah, so I thought that was cool to see like New York Times talking about it. And just wanted
That's
to,
kind of solidifies our opinion on that for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
just gonna throw it out there. If you guys find like a different point of view, let us know. But
and we'll tell you why it's wrong.
yeah, of
What
course.
about Mixer in
Right.
chat?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What about Mixer? Well, I don't know. I did see someone talking about Hype Zone and how basically Twitch could maybe benefit from something like that. I do think. Have you guys seen that on Mixer? What that is?
No, I've never seen that.
So basically, for anyone who doesn't know, on Mixer they have channels called Hype Zone for certain games. So like Fortnite, I think they have it for Realm Royale now, PUBG, etc. Where basically, if you're in the top 10 in a BR game, it will feature that person. So think of it as like a continuously rating channel that will like switch to streamers that are in the top 10 in a game. And so you're always watching someone at the end of a game about to finish.
That's
So-
really smart.
It's pretty cool. I will say, like, I'm not a big fan of Mixer as a whole, but that is a cool thing to watch because, A, like, it's always exciting because the person could win.
Right.
And then B, it's really exciting for the streamer because it's like, oh man, the top 10. And I just got like 2,000 people in my chat watching this. So,
That is pretty cool.
I have two thoughts about this. One, because of the size of Mixer, I think it's easier for them to feature people in the top 10. You know, with The number of people that would be streaming VR games on Twitch, it might be, I mean, I don't know how they would figure that out, what kind of algorithm or whatever they would use. Whose channel would they go to, you know?
Yeah.
On Mixer, you might have 1 or 2. On Twitch, you might have hundreds in the top 10 simultaneously.
Right.
The other thing is, when I go to Mixer, I hang out in Hype Zone, and then I never follow any of the streamers because you're just constantly in this channel and you're watching what are the best moments of the game, right? That top 10, and I never really get around to following specific community members, and that's been pretty much my whole experience on Mixer has been Hype Zone. Just kind of hanging out at that channel, watching people see if they lose, watching people in chat troll them because they suck if they lost, or GGs if they win. And then you move on to another channel.
Right.
Like,
so
but the thing is, like, if it does show you somebody that is worth following, you'll definitely follow that person. You know what I mean? It's just another thing to get more people, like, more eyes on you. If you're doing better at the game, it'll just show off like how good of a streamer you are if you are a good streamer.
Yeah. So I see both sides. I mean, I think definitely the majority of people will not follow the people. They'll just kind of like ride the train and just see all the channels. But occasionally, maybe if someone like really stands out to you and grabs your attention, like that could interest you. And then on the streamer side, like that's just another opportunity for you to grab someone like that you wouldn't have on Twitch. Is sort of the point to make there. And Twitch doesn't really have an equivalent of that on the platform yet. So that's something where I think they could maybe learn from Mixer. But at the same time, Mixer is not threatening Twitch, really, in my opinion.
Right.
So
it is cool though having something like Mixer kind of like push some boundaries a little bit, like kind of like come up with some new things, give some you know, kind of keep Twitch on their toes a little bit, because for a while it was just like we're Twitch and there's nobody else.
Exactly.
Like, now they have some competition, kind of, you know. So like maybe they'll start like getting some more gears working on some things that actually matter.
Right.
Yeah. So, healthy competition is always good, and also it gives another viable option for a content creator that maybe just doesn't like Twitch, or you know, prefers Mixer's interface, or likes the smaller number of content creators that they have. It's just another option. It's always good.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. So just things like that. I think competition is great overall. The more that Mixer can challenge Twitch or another platform, you know, YouTube, Facebook, whatever, the better Twitch will get, hopefully. So, yeah. But so that's all the main topics I had from this week. I don't know if you guys saw anything that popped up in your last week, whether it was like a certain person on Twitch or something that you've seen getting big. I know we talked about, I never actually got a chance to go look at it, but the electric skateboard or something. Have you guys heard about that? I think it was PR Chaos talking about it last week. It's similar kind of. It's a channel that will also continuously raid people, and it's like a raid train that's just it's a bot channel basically, but it'll go around and you can, I guess, sign up to be on it, and it will like randomly raid or host people. And I think it got kind of trendy in the past week or two, so that was interesting to me. I don't know if you guys saw anything else.
I've had Electrical Skateboard in my chat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've banned him so many times because he keeps taking all the currency and showing up in my top 10 leaderboards in the stream currency. So I have to keep removing all the currency from him.
Right. So actually, it was Nexus was telling me about this last week. Basically, those bots are in every single channel on Twitch. And that's what it is. But it is a channel you can go to watch other people. So it's really interesting. I've not seen any like ideas like that before. I don't know what people think about that. If someone wants to call in and talk about it, if they know more about it, I'd love to learn more about it and like how it all works, whether it's good or not. So
I've seen there was one, I can't remember the name of it, but before Electrical Skateboard, because now that you bring that up, I do remember seeing that like every time. But there was some sort of like, I don't know if it was like a bot or something. I can't remember what the name of it was, but it kind of did the same thing. But they just said that they were like collecting data basically, and it wasn't anything harmful to the streamer or anybody, which is, I don't know.
Sure.
But I've seen stuff like that before, but not like what Electrical Skateboard is doing with like, they're kind of like rating people or like posting people every once in a while. But yeah, that's really all that I know about that.
Sure.
You know who I haven't seen. You know who I haven't seen in a while is Fagwent. It was like
that's what I was thinking of.
Fagwent was the OG bot. It was always in my channel when I first started streaming. He was my most loyal viewer. Yeah, he was just always there. I was sad to see him go.
Yeah, man. I was like, I wondered for the longest time, and then I Googled it, and they're like, what is this? Who is this Vagrant in everybody's stream?
Right.
And then it turned out to be like one of those weird bots.
Yeah, they do kind of come up every once in a while, I guess. That makes sense. Okay, the only question I've seen so far was from Fate from Fiction, which I think is one of Tom Cruise's viewers, I want to guess. He said, how did Tom Cruise get partnered by True? Can't just be his dashing good looks. And then he said,
good, look at me. Just kidding.
But then he said, same thing, what would you guys say makes them worth following? So basically, I guess, why did Tom Cruise get partnered? I guess we can talk about that.
Yeah, why not?
Sure, yeah, basically, so I am involved in the sponsorship decision-making process. Basically, Tom's been part of the community for a couple months now and pretty active in the community compared to other people. He has a good-sized audience. He meets all the requirements we have on our website and everything. Gets, well above 15-plus viewers each time he streams most times. So, yeah, for all those reasons, and he's an awesome guy. I mean, that was why I chose to sponsor him. So hopefully that answers your question. It's pretty cut and dry when it comes down to it, but yeah.
Yeah. I'll send you the check later, man.
Yeah. It's coming soon. Okay, so we have a couple actually in the Discord from, I'll start with Sean John Wan. Another great name. I love these rhyming names, by the way. Just anything that rhymes is a good name. Yeah. He said, I'm curious about gifting subs. I like that you can opt into continuing the sub. The problem I've seen is that people might gift too many subs and then no one subs on their own. So have you guys run into that on your own channels? Maybe, with the kind of fad of sub gifting that, maybe one person gifts everyone a sub, but then those people never actually sub themselves when they have the chance to?
I've definitely had that. Like Jesse Babe in my channel gifts out subs all the time. And so like even today, like it was either today or yesterday, someone's like, or maybe it was Nada today, actually. Either way, someone was like, oh man, I can't do your emote or whatever, my sub ran out. And then someone's like, here you fucking go. Like, like I don't see an issue with it. Like, it's people are still supporting your channel, and like if someone doesn't want to have to pay the money, but someone else is willing to do it for them,
right?
Like it's not like you're not getting money out of it.
Yeah.
So like they're still supporting your channel. You should be thankful that you have people that are willing to do that are willing to gift out subs. That's the way that I look at it.
I totally agree. And speaking of which, as we're talking about this, Silent Ghost gifts a sub to Fate from Fiction. So
hell yeah,
that was funny.
Yeah.
So, go ahead, Tom.
My thought. First of all, this was brought up by Woolsey. Was
last
it last
week, yep.
or the week before? He had some opinions about subgifting, and I remember someone in chat before I could type it said similar to what my thoughts are. Gifted subs are kind of outside of what you do regularly. I don't mind that sometimes my sub numbers might drop because people can't gift subs or haven't gifted subs. I think it's the viewers' prerogative on whether they see someone else in the community or in chat that they feel deserves a subscription. Like, it's not about me.
Right.
It's more about the viewer at that point. There, as far as I'm concerned, I don't necessarily feel like obviously it supports me, but I feel like the viewer is just kind of like, okay, I feel good in this community. I like this person. I think this person should be more a part of this community, so let me gift them a sub. And when I gift subs, I kind of do it for that reason as well. Like, if I think I gifted a sub in your channel, Velokk, and it wasn't about I want to give this guy $2.50. It was because I see somebody in chat that's like cool and obviously engaged, and I'm like, hey, let me try to get this person to be more a part of this community by giving them the emote and the little sub, the little star right now, sub badge in the future, obviously. But yeah, sub gifts aren't meant for us, I don't think. I think it's more for the community.
Yeah.
I mean, that's for sure. Like subscribers and like sub gifting definitely helps build a community for sure. And like having that is awesome. So I'm like I said earlier, I'm not too worried about over gifting subs by any means, because it's just people just trying to grow your community for you and bring as many like positive vibes as they can.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I'm on the side that like sub gifting is always a good thing, and there's like not really a drawback to it. Like, yes, you don't have that consistency of like maybe your subs fluctuate a lot, but at the end of the day, I think you're still getting more subs than you would without it. So
yeah, absolutely.
No question. I don't think there's any reason to complain about it, but
no,
I know people feel differently about it because like we were saying, Woolsey brought it up last week. Had some good opinions and thoughts about that, and I put that actually up as its own highlight on our channel if you want to go watch it because it was so good. But
wow.
Yeah, he talked about selling out as well. That was another cool discussion, which we can circle back to in a little bit if we need to.
Yeah, why not?
Sure.
Cool. So I saw another one from Retro Date Night who said, "What is your opinion on emulators and their legality? Kind of a sensitive topic, possibly. We absolutely love them because we can play old video games, but they'll be more reliable and crisper in graphics." Interesting. So basically, if you don't know, legally with emulators, I think the emulator itself is technically legal, but then
but the game is not.
Yeah, you're not legally allowed to play the game because unless you actually play the game that you bought, is my understanding of it. Now, I've heard some people say like if you bought the game before, then you technically own it, so you can play it. I don't know if that's actually legally true or not, but basically, with old games, there's some legal issues with streaming those, or just playing them actually at all with an emulator. So if you guys played any old games with emulators on stream or off stream, and what do you think of all that in general, basically?
I haven't played any emulators at all.
Yeah,
no?
I'm the wrong person to ask. Yeah, the last time I played an emulator, I mean, years ago. I wasn't even thinking about streaming, and it was like NES games on my PC. I can't really answer anything about the legality of emulators.
Yeah, I played like Metal Slug when I was like 10 or something.
Right.
Yeah.
I will say, so Retro Date Night in this question said, "What's your opinion on it?" Not what is like legally true. So I'll kind of say that like, I don't know the legality of it all, like to the T of like what you should or shouldn't do. In terms of streaming with Twitch, I would say 90% of the time, I would guess you're fine to just stream an emulator. Like I think you're very rarely going to get called out for an emulator or a certain game or something. Now, I don't know the speedrunning community especially well, so maybe people kind of like witch hunt for that or something.
Right.
But I think if you're playing a game that, most people I would guess probably play games they played before growing up or something or as kids. So you probably own that game before. You probably can relate to it a lot. And I'm on the side of you should probably just go stream it if you want to stream it, because I don't think like, the game that got made 20 years ago is going to come out of the death and sue you or something for
playing
their game. I mean, legally, maybe you shouldn't do it. Technically, I don't think it's a huge deal, really.
Right.
That's my side of it. I don't know what you guys
music
think.
on stream like everybody.
Yeah, why ask the question though? Is there something that we don't know about, like something going on Twitch that somebody's getting grief about emulators, or I'm just curious, like how that question came up.
Yeah, well,
they stream the because they're Retro Date Night, so I'm assuming that they stream them playing like emulators of older games. Okay. So they're probably just curious about our stance on what they do, I imagine.
They're probably getting yelled at for using emulators. Like, what do you guys think? I don't know, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. So Sodomi's saying when you buy a game, you buy a license to use it, which would suggest to me that like if you let's say you buy Pokemon Red for Game Boy Color or something 20 years ago, and now you want to stream it on the emulator, legally you're allowed to use it. So that's my guess. So I don't know if people know better than I do, but my takeaway would be just go do it because I think you'll be fine. That's my side. I don't know if you guys feel differently.
Just get a warning, if anything.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
Like you're streaming Pong, but it's an emulator. We caught you. Like you're taking away. Like we could have used that purchase. Like
we need everything we can get here, man. 20 years down the road, every nickel counts.
I think let Twitch kind of guide you. Like I would say, go stream it. Yeah, I hear you. I see what Retro's saying. He hasn't gotten a try. I would say just keep doing it, and if Twitch ever, they have a legal team for that stuff, man. Let them handle it. If they come to you and say you can't do this anymore, then you adjust then.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah.
Okay, so there's some more questions coming in here in the Twitch chat. So Silent Ghost did a simple question about sub gifting. I think he got answered by Miss Teague. Basically, does gifting interfere with the viewer's sub streak? is my only true question. So yeah, it does not interfere. If you get gifted a sub, you can. I've seen channels that like, you know, Lyric's been subbed for a year, but no, people just gift him a sub every month or something. So you can still get a streak, and it continues if you pick it up the next month or something.
Right.
Jesse Babe did have another big question. Said, as a fresh True affiliate, congrats by the way, Jesse. She said, how do you keep away from the sellout title when trying to bring attention to that stuff? Like how this week you can use the code for True Mug. I don't want to mention it and make it feel like I'm trying to sell people stuff, but I still want to bring attention to True. So this applies to not just True, but any sponsorship, affiliation, etc., where you are sponsored by someone and you benefit from promoting their brand, but you don't want to be labeled a sellout. So do you guys have experiences with that? And Velokk looks like he's got something.
Hell yeah. Make a joke out of that shit. Be like, I don't mean to be a sellout, but, and then, you know, like, kind of like what we did in the beginning. Like, we didn't actually even plan that. I just decided to wear this shirt today. But we made, like, a joking, like, little sellout thing out of it. Like, the best way to get out of being called a sellout is be like, hey, I'm not going to be a sellout, but, and then, like, because people are going to be like, oh, you're a sellout. Like, well, I just said I'm not, so what do you want me to say? Or whatever. Like, you can totally meme it up or whatever. Like, Jesse, I know you're a meme, so just have fun with it. Like, you need to promote things, obviously.
Yeah.
So go promote them. Don't try to just, like, leave a plug, like a mug right here, and it has, like, TRUgaming on there or whatever. Like, oh, man, this coffee's so good or whatever. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Like, it's Detroit
or
coffee.
You could do that and make a joke. Like, you know what I mean? Like, as long as you're over-exaggerating everything.
Yeah.
You got to make sure it's Detroit coffee, though, Velokk.
There you go.
That's right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Tom, have you had experience? Go ahead.
I do. In my opinion, first of all, I want to preface this and reiterate that I am a hobbyist. I do this as a hobby. And when I say I do this as a hobby, I don't mean like I just turn on my, PC and play video games. And I'll use the example like the guy that goes to play golf. Like, he invests in his equipment. He loves playing golf. He likes to challenge himself. But he's not trying to go to the PGA Tour. He's just trying to be the best that he can be on the weekends when he plays golf. So that's how I see streaming for myself. That being said, I because of that, I try not to monetize as much as possible. And me personally, I'm fortunate enough to be in a position in my personal life financially that I don't have to lean on those sorts of things, right? Like I can kind of go without. And not everyone is like that, obviously. Again, I'm just telling you from my perspective. I try really hard not to monetize, and I try to make sure that my community understands that I don't want their money. If they give it to me, great. They understand that every time I get anything, I either gift subs, I sub to channels from people from my own community, I buy equipment, and my community always knows what I'm doing with this money. I'm pretty open about it. So me saying, hey, I really believe in this product by this sponsor, they know that it's because I believe in the product. It's not because I'm trying to make money. Like I have, basically I only have 2 sponsors, right? TRUgaming being the second one. And I don't know if I can talk about the first one.
Sure, yeah.
I'm sponsored by a company called Pluggable Gaming. And I believe in their products. I use their keyboard, I use their mouse. Before I updated to XLR, I use their microphone. And I talk about it. And when people say, hey, I need a mic, I would tell them, listen, this is my mic that I'm using. You should buy this mic. You hear my quality. It sounds good. I think when you do it from that level, Jesse, people will not feel so bad about it. If you believe in TRUgaming as an organization and you believe what they stand for, people aren't going to feel like you're selling out if you're saying, hey, I think you should support these people because I believe in them. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense.
No, that's a crucial step of any sort of promotion or sponsorship because you have to believe in the product first, right? And that's the only way you're going to sell it to people. If you don't believe in it, then why would anyone else believe in it? Right. But I also like Velokk's point. I mean, actually, we were talking about this earlier this week because he's actually going after a sponsorship with someone, but is looking for a way to help promote it. I'm a big fan of like memeing up a sponsorship or promotion or something. I've seen a lot of people do it really well. The biggest one I was talking to Velokk about was Dr. Disrespect with Gillette. He made an entire song about Gillette, and like that became like the biggest meme of his channel. But then all of a sudden, he's sponsored by Gillette, and so like it's funny how that can turn around all of a sudden, and even though it's a meme, it actually works out because he actually probably does like Gillette a decent bit, or at least their money. And Gillette is clearly a big fan of well, this guy is like singing songs about us and loving us so much. So of course we just sponsor him. So I think that's a great way to do it. It's not for everyone probably, and of course, like Tom said, like number one rule is you have to like the product. You can't just promote something just to like pay the bills, basically.
Yeah, like on that same point, like, you know, we look at Dr. Disrespect. He's sponsored by Turtle Beach, right? I guarantee you, if you ask this man off stream, like, what's his favorite headphones, he's not going to say Turtle Beach. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I understand the Gillette side, but I'm like, why is he wearing Turtle Beaches? Like, he can get a, he's at a size that he can get a much better product that he can actually believe in. So, like, he doesn't push the Turtle Beach so much as he pushes like other products. If you watch a stream,
right?
I don't know, and that's kind of going back to what I was saying before. Absolutely. About, like, you know, believing in the product. You know,
definitely agree. Cool. Well, hopefully that helps you out, Jesse. I know you said you're gonna try to keep it all in mind, but yeah, it's something you have to kind of work through and learn over time for sure. Hopefully this stuff just helps you get there a little faster. Saw a question from TK by the Bay. Love that name. I said it right this time. They said, can't hop in Discord. I'm at work, but I just started streaming. I try to stream every weekday. I want to make my stream stand out a little more and use a capture card for my Xbox. What would you guys recommend as a first capture card? Thanks, guys. Do you guys use any capture cards of your own, either for Xbox or something else? Or
I've used one.
Okay.
I definitely recommend going with something internal instead of external. Your latency will be much smaller if you go internal for your PC. So that's what I have to say. And do your research before you just plug it in and start winging stuff, because that's what I did. And I had like the most difficult time for like a week because I didn't know what the hell was going on. And yeah, do your research, get an internal one, and good luck.
Yeah. Elgato is like the gold standard in my opinion for really, like, these days, like 90% of stream stuff is Elgato.
Right.
Yeah, you know, internal is gonna be nicer. I think it's more expensive. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's like $30 more for the internal as opposed to just the regular.
That's not bad. Yeah, I mean, if it's that little of a price difference, I would just go for the internal. I know a lot of people use the external, and it's not bad once you get the delay configured. Right. But you know, if you have the option, internal is the way to go, I'd say.
So I use the Elgato HD60, not the S or the Pro, like the old shitty Elgato.
Still an Elgato though.
That I bought used off of eBay.
There you go.
I started streaming on a budget. So I primarily console game on PS4, and I don't think anyone's ever told me I've had issues with quality on my stream. It's completely fine. You know, but yeah, if you're gonna do it now, if internal would be the way to go, like Velokk said, if you're able to do it. If not, I would try to go with like the Pro one, the newest one that came out, right? That's the S Pro or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's the one that I have. It works. It's good. Like he was saying, like, it's not going to be a big enough difference to where chat's going to be like, well, what the hell? You're like 3 milliseconds behind or something like that. Like,
oh, he needs external. He has a laptop. You got to get the external one.
Yeah, I mean, that's totally fine then.
The one that Link was saying right there, HD60 Pro. That's the one you need to get.
There you go.
I know people use AverMedia. I've never. I look at people's PC setups. I don't know if that's weird, but like, it's one of the first things I check when I go on people's channels. What does this guy have under the hood, you know? And I see AverMedia every once in a while. I don't really know much about them, but if I see a capture card and it's not Elgato, it's AverMedia. So I don't know if that means anything.
Yeah, we have an AverMedia card here at True.
Okay.
It's not our favorite. We like the Elgato a lot more. So I would just go with that personally. TK, by the way, did say he has a laptop, so I don't think you could use an internal capture card with that. So you could still go with the HD60 Pro, and that'd be good. Or just the 60S. I can't keep track of all the different ones.
Yes.
But yeah.
An Elgato is what you need.
Yeah, un Elgato. There you go. You'll be good. Cool. So that answers your question, man. Guys, please continue to ask questions here in the chat or in our Discord. We have yet to get a caller, so I'd love to have a caller join the show. I'm just throwing that out there. We got some sponsored streamers in the chat, and I know that they have access to a computer, so Just gonna throw it in there.
I'm gonna start asking some questions.
Yeah, and sometimes you get the best questions from people who have a lot of experience. So yeah, just throwing it out there. In the meantime, I want to talk about burnout, because this is a topic I see kind of coming up a lot with a lot of streamers right now. People I've talked to and just seen around the space who are getting just burnt out, just exhausted of streaming basically, or are in like tough times where it's tough to keep going. So do you guys, maybe each one of you, talk about, I'm sure you've both felt this to some extent, but maybe Tom, start with you this time. Do you have an experience where you've dealt with that, or are you dealing with it now?
Not right now. Again, I've been streaming since May of last year, and I guess for the past like 4 or 5 months, I've kind of gotten my schedule balanced. And even with a balanced schedule, like I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday after work for about 4 to 5 hours, and then on the weekends in the morning for 4 to 6 hours. Even with that balanced schedule where I get to hang out with my wife and my kid on the other days, and everybody knows what days I'm streaming, and you still just, we're humans, right? You get tired. I get tired of dealing with people sometimes. I love my community, and I love all you guys. Sometimes I don't want to hear shit, right? I just want to just come home and just watch Netflix, right? Mm-hmm. So there's been times where I've said, you know what, I'm going to take the day off, or I think it's the best thing to avoid burnout is trying to find a schedule that works for you, works for your family, and works for your lifestyle, and then try to plan time off ahead of time so that way you can share that with your community, and you're not like canceling streams like I've done many times, like kind of last minute, like, hey guys, I got a headache, or I'm not feeling well. I think you need to plan those same as you do with your time off at work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Totally agree. I'm actually like kind of just getting over like one of the hurdles right now. I totally agree with Tom Cruise there. Like having those times where like you just want to cancel the stream. Like I had my times where I used to do that too often, and it's not good for your channel. You definitely don't want to do that. Every once in a while, you definitely need to either like shorten a stream or cancel a stream. But one of the things that I will say is like you definitely need to push through it. Like you gotta push through it, and you gotta find that one thing that motivates you to keep going. And like when you make it out of that, like each time you get like a little bit better as a streamer, in my opinion. Like I've had to regrow my channel a couple times. I've had to start from scratch. It's not easy. And like this time around, like it's been, like there wasn't really anything wrong with my channel or anything. It was just kind of like just overall mental exhaustion from streaming and everything. Right. And so like I had to like remember like why I stream, like the cool, like the great things that like my community has done for me and all the cool people that I've met. And you just got to get through the hurdle, and you'll grow as a streamer because of it. Like I said, I'm just now getting over one, and like I'm definitely like back on the rise, like mentally, which is good.
Right. Did you like take time away that helped you get over that or something?
Not really. It's just a lot of like, I don't know. I'm really into like figuring out why I'm thinking a certain way, I guess. Yeah. Like I don't take time off of streaming or anything, but like I don't know. I did like honestly. I did. This is weird for me. I've never tried this, but I did like a little bit of meditating for a while. I tried that out, and it was weird, like so. I tried doing that, and I think it kind of helped a little bit. Just kind of cleared my head and realized like why I'm here and everything, and it definitely helps. So meditating might help too. Like it's really weird. It's not something that I talk about openly at all.
I don't think it's weird,
but yeah, that's not weird.
Yeah,
I don't know, but yeah, I mean, it definitely helped me out though, and it helped me just. What's that?
Nothing.
No, but just kind of like doing whatever you need to do to clear your head and kind of realize like why you're doing it in the first place definitely helps.
Yeah, I agree.
If I could piggyback, right? Like you said a really key point, right? Find what motivates you. Mm-hmm. I think that's important, One thing about burnout too, a lot of times, and I face this, is people that play the same game, right? I'm kind of a one game streamer most times. Again, I stream all kinds of different games, and the only reason I say I stream all kinds of different games is probably one day a week I don't feel like streaming the same game that I'm playing the other 3 times a week. So you can definitely get burnt out. Try to find things, try to switch things up a little bit, do things differently, maybe do some community nights, or try not to do the same thing every time you turn on your channel, even if you're playing the same game. If you're playing like I don't know, play solo, play duos, play squads, like switch. Even within the same game, you can switch that up. If it has PvP and PvE content, you could switch those up. So that way you're not constantly doing the same. I even have a friend who every once in a while will stream like the PvE version of Fortnite. Like all he plays is Fortnite. Every once in a while he'll go save the world because you get tired of just the same.
Technically the same game.
Yeah, same game.
Yeah.
You know, it's just different stuff. Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean,
Sorry, I cut you off.
No, that's definitely true. I was just gonna say that I think finding ways to take breaks. I'm a big believer in that because I think like you just can't go 100% all the time without dialing it back every once in a while. And like finding motivation is a big part of that. I think finding creative ways to kind of not stop but like take a breather is a good way to do it. Like you said, you know, maybe doing a different game mode in the same game or something, or just slightly switching up your stream a bit. I also think that taking just a hard cut away is good for you mentally. It's tougher for your stream if you take especially like an extended leave where you're just doing nothing. But you kind of have to like consider that trade-off of like whether coming back totally refreshed is going to be better long term. So I think that's some really good ways to deal with it overall, and hopefully that helps people with everything. But you guys have some great stories, so thank you for sharing those for sure. We have a lot more questions coming in now, which is great. And we have our first caller, Ginger. So let me drag in Ginger. Hello, Ginger, you there, my friend?
Newt Gingrich.
Newt returns.
Newt has joined the Discord channel.
Hello, Newt. How are you doing today?
Good, how y'all doing?
Pretty good, man. What did you want to talk about on the show today?
So I wanted to get y'all's opinions on how important networking is, because I know I'm just now realizing how important it is, and just knowing that like getting yourself on many different platforms can grow your channel so much. So that's why I'm like trying to not really force myself, but like get myself going on like Instagram for me. Like I'm starting to do like Instagram and then more on Twitter and stuff. So I just wanted to hear y'all's opinions on that.
Sure.
Speaking of that, which also I just applied for True Affiliate.
Hey.
That's good for networking too. So
round of applause in the chat. Round of applause.
I really want to get into this community because it's so much fun, and I've talked to Jess about it so much, and this community is fucking fantastic. So
awesome.
You're welcome. I'm just kidding.
I love to hear
Spit
that.
up my drink, man. Stop.
Can I ask a follow-up question?
Yo, what's up?
What's your goal with streaming? Like, you're asking, you're just trying to grow your channel, like.
Well, yeah, I'm just trying to grow my channel because I play Fortnite competitively, so I'm constantly trying to grow my stream with that because I am a decent player at it. But like, I really just enjoy streaming and the interaction. Even if I'm not getting viewers and stuff, I'll get a couple people that I know personally that'll come into my stream, and it's always fun to see them. But growing that audience is a main goal of mine too. So.
Okay. Tom Cruise, you want to start this one off, man?
Sure. I think networking, besides you hitting the start streaming button, networking is the most important thing for you to do in order to grow your channel. If you don't network, like, how are people going to know that you even exist, right? Like, especially in a game like Fortnite, how are they going to stumble across your page with so many people streaming that same game, right? So and listen, I listen to podcasts, and you'll probably hear the same thing here that you hear on other podcasts and other people. That's just go out and make as many friends as you possibly can. Some of them will be great, some of them won't, like in real life, right? Just go out and make as many friends as you can, and things will just kind of drop into place. Those people that are gonna help you and mutually grow with you, they're gonna be there. The ones that are not, then you can still be cool with them. But I don't think social media is the best method of networking. I think the best method of networking is going into streams and being part of communities. And I'll be clear about this. When I first started streaming, I spent months in people's chats without them knowing that I was a streamer. And when they finally found out that I was a streamer, they were grateful that they didn't know, because they knew that I had so many opportunities to kind of drop and say, oh, I'm going to go live, or I'm going to go do this, or my Elgato's not working, right? That's the ninja promote. You know, so just hang out in communities, meet people that you like, and typically the people that they surround themselves with, you're gonna like them as well. So just hang out and chat. That's, to me, that's the best way to network. Just hang out in as many chats as you can, and hang out and become part of people's communities.
Right.
Sorry, I
Oh, dude, you,
Now you're
you
good.
nailed it, man. You nailed it. Like, to totally piggyback off of this guy. Like, I totally agree. Twitter, Instagram are not the place to network. That's kind of like a place for like the people that are already following you to go out and follow you on those and just like see when you're live. That's basically how I look at it. Or another glimpse into your personal life. Like, that's what social media is for me. 100% totally agree with him. If you're trying to network, it's all about going into other channels. And definitely don't mention that you're a streamer, like he said. Like, this dude waited months for them to find out. That's amazing. Like, and like when he's joined my channel, he definitely didn't say anything about him being a streamer or anything. And knowing that he's a streamer and having him not say anything about it, like, that's like part of like the whole Twitch etiquette thing, like the streamer etiquette that a lot of people don't understand. And so another great streamer or another good streamer, when they see that, they'll recognize that you know Twitch etiquette. And that you're not just a person like, oh, follow for follow. Like, there's two totally different people. Like, I'm not gonna go check someone out that asks for a follow for follow. I'm just not. But for someone to come into my channel and just hang out, enjoy their time with me, and then I eventually find out that they're a streamer, eventually I'm definitely gonna go check that person out because they took the time to put into me. So why not? And like, if they're already hanging out in your channel and they're a supportive person in your community, why not go check them out anyway?
Yeah, that's a really good point, I think, with the stream etiquette, too, that people don't think about. Is like, yes, you sacrifice the fact that you're not saying you're a streamer right away and people don't know, but like long term, you build a better relationship with that person, and they respect you more for it. So,
Right.
Newt, I don't know your actual name here. Ginger.
Ginger.
Did you? Just calling you Newt. That's what I've heard, man.
Where did that come from?
Okay, let me tell this story because this is freaking fantastic. Okay, so I went into a stream. I think it was when Bell was playing. I think with Susie, Jess, and one other person, and I joined the chat and I was saying what's up or whatever. I don't know if like some of them were like drunk because it was late at night. So I didn't know if some of them were drinking or whatever. And some of them started calling. Somebody started calling me Newt Gingrich, and I was just like, I mean, I'll roll with it, I guess. And that's what they were calling me the whole night, and I was just like, bro, what is going on? So like every time I like join like Jess's channel or like if I join Bell's channel, he always calls me Newt Gingrich. I'm like, what's up, dude?
You need to change your nickname on Discord now.
That's awesome. Yeah,
all the way in.
just embrace it.
Can I say one more thing? For you, because you said you play Fortnite competitively, the competitive scene in Fortnite is blowing up, right? With all of these large tournaments that happen, but there's also a lot of smaller ones that I see, like different people I see holding much smaller tournaments. As a networking opportunity, I would just try to get into as many of those as possible. Just to get yourself out there and meet as many, even if it's small, no prize, like just for bragging rights, just go out there and join as many tournaments as you can. And that's another way to kind of, the more people that you meet, the more chances you have of meeting people that'll you and them can mutually grow together, right?
Yeah. Speaking of which, I've been playing in like some tournaments on UMG. I don't know if you guys know what UMG is, but they host like tournaments over like everything. I was actually playing in the Saturday Fortnite qualifier last night, which is really cool because I had a couple people come into my stream and say that they were watching because of that. But that was awesome, so that's definitely pretty cool. So
yeah,
nice, man. Did you have any like specific questions about a platform? Because I know you mentioned social media.
I mean, so what I've figured out is that like for like growing purposes, I've noticed that Instagram is actually really good because of the way they work with hashtags and stuff. So when you post a video and hashtags and stuff, that's where a lot of people go to find new content, and you get a lot of new people from using a lot of hashtags on Instagram. So for me, I'm posting like clips and videos and stuff like that, or I'm starting to at least and you'll put like hashtags for like you'll say Fortnite, cool clip, whatever, and then people will go on the search thing and find you through that, and that's a really good way of finding new viewers for that stuff, and it can connect to like your Twitter, your Twitch, whatever. Not saying that's like that should be your main thing to focus on, because like you said, going into people's channels and like actually creating a community is good, but like getting on like the back line and like making sure that you have stuff that is like doing work for you in the background is good too.
Yep, absolutely. I think Instagram in particular is really good for Fortnite, I've noticed. I don't know if you follow Ninja on Fortnite on Instagram, but he has very detailed strategy on there. I think it's a great idea to kind of copy what he's doing, because there are like millions of people watching stuff on Instagram too. So
and like as funny as you like it sounds, there's a lot of audience for Instagram, because like even like smaller children, like they'll have like their phones or whatever, they can download Instagram and they can watch your clips and stuff like that, and like parents aren't really like monitoring that stuff, which I think they should, because like Instagram is like sort of like a it's
a whole other topic.
yeah but it's Instagram. But it's definitely a really good way to get your name out there if you're starting. Instagram is big, so
yeah, I definitely agree. And like these guys said, like at the end of the day, Twitch is going to be the best, because like that's the platform you want to grow on, so that's where you should focus most of your attention. But I also think it's a good idea to have strategies for other platforms, because that's more potential people you can be hitting. So
right. While I'm also in here, I would just wanted to mention to Vel, I really don't like talking to your chat that much, but I really enjoy your stream, and I've just really enjoyed being a part of your community. I've been like lurking in your chat a lot more.
Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it. Can I ask real quick, like, what makes you not want to talk in the chat, or is it just because you?
A lot of the time, I just love the way your energy is, and I'm just like I'm more watching you than interacting with chat. So that's basic. Cause like most of the time I'm interacting in like other chats, but I don't know you like as well as like personally. And like whenever whenever I see Jess in the chat, I'll interact, because like I'm good friends with her. But a good amount of the time I'm just watching you, because there's a lot of like really fun times in your stream. So
thanks, man. We'll talk away, dude. Don't feel shy.
Awesome, dude. Thank you for calling in, man. Do you have anything else to talk about? Is that good?
I think I'm good.
Okay, cool, man. Thank you again.
Appreciate you guys. Good luck with the rest of the stream. If I have any more questions, I'm sure I'll hop in here. I don't mind talking in here. It's fun. So
awesome, man.
Cool, dude. We'll talk to you in a bit then.
Awesome.
Peace.
See ya. All right, thanks for that question, man. I've seen a lot of questions popping up in the chat. So let me scroll back up a bit a ways here. Saw one from Jessie Babe, it looks like. It was the most recent. She said, I have a mod on my channel who I play games with often. I noticed recently when he's on Discord, he overpowers me even at a low volume, constantly talking to the chat, but not allowing me to talk to my own chat. He keeps the chat moving, and that's great, but I just feel like he's slowly taking over. Interesting. So like very dominant mods, basically. Have you guys dealt with that in your chats or other chats that you've seen?
I've dealt with dominant people in the chat with me for sure. You gotta calm them down. You have to. Even if like Susie QQ was playing Fortnite with me and she was just screaming the whole time, I'd be like, Susie, like you don't want to like do that on stream really, but like maybe next time to like give them a quick DM beforehand or be like, hey, just so you know, I still have a stream to stream, so like I need to be able to talk a little bit. Like we can still talk, that's great, but you just gotta maybe keep it down a little bit. Like I appreciate you. You're a great person. You're a great moderator, great viewer, great friend, but just remember, I'm still trying to stream, because it is like if you're gonna take it seriously, you gotta lay down the law a little bit. You can't let other people control your stream for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You want me to jump in?
Yeah, I thought you were going to.
I've dealt with this a lot, actually, and I've dealt with it with other streamers as well, which can be challenging. I think you need to. If you know that this person that you're playing with is gonna continue to overpower you, play with them off stream if you enjoy playing with them. Don't play with them on stream. I think you need to be the focus of your cast, unless you're doing some sort of community night where you just don't care and just like everybody, people. I've had some where everybody's just drinking and loud and crazy, and that's part of the, that's part of the whole show. But if it's just a regular stream, you need to be the one that's talking to chat and kind of, verbalizing the most. I would just play with them off stream. Same thing with other streamers. If it's too difficult for you guys to communicate without talking over each other, then it's probably not a good fit for the show. You should just do that off stream if you enjoy that person as a friend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's tough when they're a mod too, because especially if they're a really good mod in general in chat, but then like as soon as they're on the stream, they take over. That's a tough line to walk, because like on the one hand, it's really nice to have a good dedicated mod who will keep the chat moving, who will answer questions for you and just basically help you out across the board while you're streaming. But it's not worth it if that person is going to constantly want to play with you or just like take over your stream basically. They could do that with chat too, if they are just like way too involved and like not even letting you answer questions that you want to or something. So that's a tough thing to balance that I think every streamer has to go through at some point. So I would say basically like the biggest thing is you have to not let that person take over the stream in voice. Like that has to come first, because people will just like watch you for who you are and not pay as much attention to the chat. And finding someone who's really good to stream with is its own beast that we've talked about before. But clearly that person is not a good one to stream with. So I would say get away from that. And then in terms of leaving him as a mod in the chat, that just depends on how dominant he is in the chat, he or she, and whether you think it's worth it to let them keep doing that, or if maybe it's time for someone else. And I'd say like don't be afraid of getting rid of a mod, even if they've been there for a long time and like are very committed or something. If they're doing something wrong and are not open to correction, that's an important thing. Make sure like you give them a chance first. But if they are just like not listening, then get rid of them. I mean, mod doesn't really have any real privilege over anyone else at the end of the day. So
right, you gotta run the stream. You have to.
Yeah.
I don't really have that many mods. I think I have. When I first started streaming, everybody that I knew was a mod. So everybody had the sword, and at one point I had none, because at the time I didn't feel like I was getting the viewership that kind of needed that many mods, right? So that's kind of a different subject. Like if you have a bunch of mods and you're getting 10 viewers, you can handle chat if you have 10 viewers, or you can have one mod. But yeah, I kind of feel the way, GreenChord feels. Like if they are a mod, then they should be an extension of you and your channel, pretty much. And if they're not willing to do that, then you got to kind of have that conversation with them and say, if whether it's on stream or just in the chat.
Yep, absolutely agree. Hopefully that helps you out there, Jesse. It's a tricky thing. I know some people in the chat are saying there's other ways to deal with it in terms of like Discord, where DN said he just like toggle mutes everyone in the Discord so that like he can't even hear them, and he just talks to the stream and then turns them back on to hear them. That's an option. It might be a little bit like jarring, but it could work for you. I guess it's working for DN. Snoophog also said that you could use a push to talk room in Discord. That could also work, but at the same time, that person could also still just constantly push and talk. So you have to strike that balance.
Just put their elbow on the button.
Yeah, basically tape it down. So those are all good ways to think about how to deal with that, I'd say. So thank you for that question. Sayhid. I think
Saeed. Oh boy. Oh, I'm worried about this right now. But
yeah,
let's go.
I don't recognize the name, so I want to make sure you know the person.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we're good. Sahid, welcome to the show, my friend. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Mr. Tom.
What's up, Saeed? How you doing, man?
I just wanted to say you're the best human being I know. Oh, I'm kidding.
I was worried you were going to come in here and troll, man. Well,
come on, man. You know me better than that.
So, what do you want to talk about on the show today, man?
That's a question that I'm not sure if you're at ease to answer about other streaming platforms.
Sure.
Namely Mixer, for example. I'm asking this because I got a friend that she's been streaming for a couple of years. Tom knows her as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And her stream is average, like 20 concurrent viewers, something like that. And she's worried that she's not growing up during the last few months. So she decided to leave Twitch in a couple of weeks and move on to Mixer completely, because she's thinking that that's the best alternative for her channel to grow. And I got my questions about that. I'm not so sure that's the way to go.
Well, can I just ask, how long has she been on that platform? Like since she made the switch?
It's like she's streamed there 3-4 times in the last month, so it's pretty new.
Okay, so is she still streaming to Twitch at the same time, or?
Yeah, no, she streams Twitch like a full time, but every once in a while she's streaming a little bit on Mixer and different days.
So she's dipping her feet in, basically trying it out. Okay,
basically.
Interesting. I don't know, have you guys ever experimented with that yourselves? Like still streaming on Twitch, but then like trying out another platform in the meantime?
I've never tried anything else. How about you, Tom Cruise?
I streamed on Mixer once, and I didn't like the interface. And I did it like a whole bunch of like community members of mine. They were all trying it, and some of them saw some pretty rapid growth in a short period of time. I don't know how that compares to Twitch in terms of following, but they were happy with it. And I'm talking about like Furry, right? Saeed, Furry, and some of the other guys. Even Tack went over to Mixer and tried that for a while, came back to Twitch. Personally, I know she's been on Twitch for like 3 years or something, right?
Yeah,
a long time.
2.5, 3
and
years.
she has an awesome stream, really high quality. And if and I've always thought that she should be bigger than she is, and I don't know what she isn't doing that's kind of stopping her from growing. But if she wants to try Mixer, I don't see anything wrong with it, because if she feels stagnant on Twitch, she can always just come back. And the people who have been her longtime community members will still be there. I feel like there's no downside to it. Now, if you had like 1,000 viewers to Mixer, I would think that was kind of. But if you're if you're in that 15 to 20, but I see her pulling larger numbers than that, so I'm a bit surprised that you say 20.
Oh, I mean, depends on the games that she's playing. If she's playing the Division, she'll get 30 people there. But she's been playing Subnautica or whatever that is lately, and it's kind of hard, because the thing is, she has this little community of like 20 people who are very loyal and faithful to her.
Right.
And she's in her comfort place, in her comfort zone. She deals with those that she knows very well. That's her friends. Yeah. But I told her many times, you need to, as you guys were talking about, you need to network. You need to know more people. She has a fantastic nickname that I think the nickname itself should be the reason for people to go there and, out of curiosity, see what's going on. Right. So I'm not sure if Mixer is the right step to go, because it's something new. It's going to be a little bit famous for the next couple of months or something. But Twitch is a behemoth. Like, there's no way, I don't think Mixer is going to be taking over Twitch anytime soon.
No. So just like in business, right? I can see her perception, right? It's better to be a big fish in a little pond than a big fish in a big pond. So for that, like, it's okay for her to go try it at least. And if you're really supportive of her, I would just say support her, and then let her try it and see if it works, and then give her the honest opinion. If you feel like, you know what, Pixel, I don't think this is working out. Like, as a friend that you've become to her, you should be in a position to kind of tell her that, like,
we had this conversation.
Yeah, but let her try it. Why not? She's not losing anything, is she?
No, I don't think so. I mean, most of her subs are through GameWisp anyway, so they'll be still subbing to her.
What do you think, Velokk, as far as trying out a new platform, or somebody in a similar position as you, like your size, basically, right?
Okay.
What do you think you would lose trying out a different platform for a while?
I don't know if I would lose too many of my my solid core viewers. I think they'd be upset that I was switching from Twitch, just because Twitch is what they know, obviously. In my opinion, if you're seeing something where you're not growing, there's something going on. Like, especially if you do have a solid stream, there's always something that you can do, in my opinion, to just make yourself stick out and get more eyes on you. I don't think switching is the right move, in my opinion, but I definitely see where you're coming from with, doesn't have too much to lose, 15 to 20 viewers, and most of her core viewers are going to stick with her. But she's got a network. She's got to do something to bring more attention to her. If she does have a solid stream already, there's something that she could be doing to stand out a little bit more, bring more people in, do something. Like I feel like it's networking, honestly.
Yeah. I think it's a double-edged sword. I kind of feel, again, 10 to 20 viewers, not a huge audience, but I think you'd be surprised how much of that she would lose if she committed to Mixer for a little bit and then came back to Twitch. Yes, she's still a small streamer, but I've seen a lot of people in that same position who try out Mixer for a couple months or something and then come back to Twitch with nothing. Even though they had people who were just crazy about them, the absence was long enough, even just a couple months, that the viewers kind of forgot about that person. Right. Because, a week or two, even a month, okay, that person, they're coming back at some point, 2 months down the road, well, I guess they're done, so I'm moving on.
Right.
And people are really loyal on Twitch, but only if you're loyal back to them, is my kind of thought there. So I've just seen it work out so badly in the past that I think it's a bad idea generally, especially if the reason for it is wanting to grow. Now, if you have a legitimate reason to be on Mixer in terms of I think that this part of the platform is so much better. I just like the way that Mixer works. I'm a big Xbox person or something, and I like this certain game community on Mixer. That makes sense to me. But just switching to a different platform because, I'll grow easier there. I think that's a trap. That's the same thing as switching to a different game. I only stream Fortnite because I'll grow faster doing that. At the end of the day, it's still about you. And I've seen a lot of channels who will switch over and get really fast growth on Mixer, and then it just dies so fast. And They come back to Twitch, and same thing, they just have nowhere. And all that time is down the drain. So I'm on that side of I think at the end of the day, based on what you've told me, she should stay on Twitch because I don't think she's going to really find any long-term growth on Mixer more than she would on Twitch. So that's my...
Yeah, I totally agree with you. That's
So
100%.
That's
That's also a good suggestion, Tom.
There's a networking opportunity right there.
Yep.
Absolutely, bro.
Awesome. Anything else you want to add to that before we move on here?
No, that's it. You guys got a great thing going on here, and Tom is amazing. Keep going.
He is a
Thank
cool
you,
dude.
I agree.
Thank you, dude. We will talk to you later.
Thank you so much. So, talk to you later.
Later,
Tom. Bye-bye.
Alrighty, good stuff. And lots of chat questions coming in, guys, so thank you. Again, a reminder, if you want to ask in voice, you can do that. I see Snoop asking a question. I think he's available. So anyway.
Get your ass in here, Snoop.
Yeah, get in here. And I want to say that I will give priority to people who ask in voice because that's the format of the show.
Right.
We'll cover text questions as we get to them, but you'll get priority as a voice person. So
Sorry, Green. Linkman actually asked this question way earlier in the chat.
Right,
I was at the bottom now.
Yeah, I was about to get to that really quickly here.
Sorry.
I think so. Unless this is actually a different one. I think he just posted. Unless
no, it's the same. I feel
it?
like he copy pasted it. Yeah, I feel like he asked the same question earlier.
Okay, I saw one about taking breaks earlier. So, okay, yeah, we can just read this off. I guess we'll go for DNs here. He says, for people who have to stream around a full-time work job, sometimes schedules can be erratic. These days, newer people who find your channel can also forget about you in a day. For someone like myself, I stream 3 days on and 5 days off. That's a really long gap. What would you suggest for streamers in my position? So basically, how do you continue to have momentum and keep people's interest when you have to take 3 days or 5 days off every week with that schedule?
That's rough. That's rough. In my opinion, the one thing you can do is always tell your viewers constantly, over communicate. Hey, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. I'm always posting what my schedule is going to be for the week because my schedule is crazy. So if you do enjoy the content, you want to make it for as many amount or whatever amount of my streams that you can. Follow me on these. I'll be posting my schedule every week. You got to blow up your social media on that for sure.
Yeah. I agree. I would also say find ways to fill that gap as much as you can. Now, you might not be able to stream, that's pretty clear, but maybe you can like repurpose content from those 3 days for like YouTube highlights or social media clips, or just like, you know, you can kind of like talk about how good the stream was or something afterwards. The next, like, let's say 2 days after you're done streaming, you can talk about what happened during those streams. And then 2 days before you start streaming again, you can start hyping up those streams and like what's going to be coming. And so that way you can kind of like bridge the gap a little bit more and make it continuous. At the end of the day, it's always be better to stream more, but if it's not an option for you, that could be a different way to go about that. That's my thought. So Tom, you have anything on that?
Yeah, I would say, you know, just be consistent. If you're streaming those 3 days, make sure you're always streaming those 3 days, you know, and, you know, keep in contact with your community at all times. I mean, Velokk mentioned social media, but Discord to me is the easiest way to continue to communicate with your community, like at all times. You know, you go in, you say good morning, you tell them what you have for breakfast, what you're doing. So even though you're not streaming, you're still, you know, providing them an insight into your life and stuff, so they kind of know what's going on with you. If you don't communicate with them, 5 days is a long time. You know, I feel like, so just constantly communicate with the community.
Yeah, over communicate basically at the end of the day. Thanks for the question, DN. I saw another one from you we'll get to in a second, but TK by the Bay, another question, who had to hop out but we'll answer it anyway, hopefully he catches it later. He said, another question, feel free, I'll skip that part. When do I have a viewer, or sorry, okay, should I read this right? When I have viewers, it's usually 1, 2, or possibly 3. They are always lurkers. I've had one guy come in and chat with me. Should I try and talk to the lurkers or let them watch and keep talking to myself? What do you guys think? Velokk is...
Do your thing. Don't bother lurkers. Let them have their time in your channel. Like, if they're lurking, then they're like, just respect that they're in there and they're spending time watching your channel. If they don't want to say anything, they're not going to. You just got to do your thing, and you just got to talk your ass off. Like, basically, like, one way I like to put it is, like, when you're not talking to your chat, like, you're still talking to your chat, obviously, but when there's no one there to talk to, you're kind of like in a YouTube, like, in a YouTube caster mode, like, where you're just talking. Like, that's all you can do. Like, you don't have anybody to bounce off of or anything, so you just got to talk about whatever, and you just got to keep going, and don't bother lurkers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't ever call out a lurker. Like, I'm even against bots calling out lurkers. Like, I hate going into a stream and I'm lurking, because I lurk often. I'm like master lurker. And wise bots like Tom Cruise levels up. I'm like, fuck that. I'm out of here. I don't want people to go on here.
Yes.
You know, like, don't have that in your chat. Like, I'm totally for, I feel like lurkers are the backbone of Twitch, and you let them do their thing. Let them consume the content the way that they want, you know? Yeah. I
mean, we're just talking to Newt, of course, who was, you know, he always watches Velokk stream, but he doesn't really talk to him that much. And Velokk is clearly not calling him out in chat or anything, besides drunken nights at 11 with Jesse and such. But other than that, like, that's a good example of how a long-time viewer can be there and still love your content and everything, but never actually, or not very often, interact with you via chat. So
yeah,
that's what I would say on that one. Even if you have low viewers, you know, it sucks when it's like, it's a dead chat, you know, people are in there watching, but they're just not talking. Like, keep grinding through it. It's okay. So
that's the grind, man.
Yep.
I like the way Ark put that. Sneakily comes out.
Yeah, all the lurkers come out to like affirm and then retract back to their little caves.
I haven't seen him say a word in chat the entire time. He's just like nods.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so Snoop is actually available now, so let me grab him really quickly. Snoop Hog TV, hello.
Snoop, hello.
You there? You're muted. There you are.
What's up, guys?
How's it going, man? Welcome back to the show. You were just here yesterday.
Yeah, talking about calling people out of lurk, man. I was lurking in my bed asking questions. You made me get up and
come
to
you were chatting still. I was not.
This is on you, Snoop.
Oh man. Okay, so I didn't actually read your question. What do you want to talk about?
Oh wow!
Snoop has a question. Fuck
feel the love already. So my question was, how do you guys feel about your community doing large monetary things for you specifically?
Is this where you're requesting it beforehand, or them
Nope.
going out of their way?
They're going out of their way. So, make a long story short, TwitchCon came up the other night in my stream. And then last night, one of my viewers who's in there regularly, first of all, donated an incredible amount of money last night, but then also started a GoFundMe for TwitchCon.
Wow.
Dang.
They started it for you?
Yeah.
That's insane.
So, first of all, I'm still kind of mind blown over the fact that, sorry, Beardy's writing about how Green can do what he wants with me because I signed a contract. But anyway.
That's true. You gave the blood sacrifice.
But I don't know. I'm just kind of mind blown at it in general. First of all, I'm mind blown by the generosity in general, period, when it comes to this stuff. But I'm kind of taken back by it. And I just don't really know if, I don't know, is that okay?
It's definitely okay. Definitely okay. If like I'm sorry to kind of just like take this, but like in my opinion, like if someone's willing to support you that much, go with it. Do that, because like if they give you that money, you're just like, no, like I can't do this. Like as much as it kind of feels like weird accepting that kind of money, because like most streamers have had to deal with that. It's more weird to be like, no, like, you know what I mean? And obviously you're not like doing it like a snot wants your money or whatever, like, but they want you to do something, like they're willing to give you their money for something, so definitely go do it, man, for sure.
Yeah. So I literally had this conversation yesterday with somebody about this. And I've talked about this before as well. If your community wants to do something for you, you can't tell them not to. So just like Velokk said, go with it, right? On the flip side of that, I'm kind of, again, just me being a hobbyist, part-time streamer, have a decent paying job. Me personally, I would never, as a content creator, approve of somebody putting a goal themselves for a large amount of money for a trip that's not necessary. Like, it'd be nice. But you putting that goal up there yourself, I don't really go with.
Right.
But if your community says, hey, we want to do this for you, what are you going to do, man? Go with it. Now, I heard recently, and this kind of related, there was a guy who put this goal up. One of my community members told me the story. Guy puts a goal up, raises $1,000 for TwitchCon, and then tells his community, I was looking at the flights, and I don't think I'm going to go. And I'm asking him, so is he giving you guys the money back? He's like, I don't know. And this is, I'm like,
gosh,
what the hell? Yeah. So if they get you the money, man, you definitely got to go, and you should definitely go with it.
That's
go ahead, Greg.
No, I was gonna say that is an interesting point. That like, I think that's kind of different. Like where you take the money but then don't use it for the thing they gave it for. That's a whole nother dilemma that like you should never get into. But like,
no. That's shady.
Yeah.
Shit. You can't do that.
But in terms of like whether or not to take it, I agree with what these guys have said. I mean, if they want to support you or something, then let them. That's my thought. Because I mean, you get to do things for them, and they should be able to do things for you when they want to. That's my thought. So.
Yeah, because I had when the TwitchCon thing came up, I have somebody who is beyond generous and totally unnecessary in my channel on a regular basis. And he was like, well, I'll help you get to TwitchCon. I was like, whoa, pump the brakes here. I was like, because I know how you are. I was like, I got to work this out, because for me, I work a rotating schedule. So I don't have my weekends off to myself always and stuff like that. So to kind of like, I mean, even in like the end situation, my schedule changes every 3 weeks. It doesn't change time-wise, but it rotates. So that's how I keep my consistency. But the whole point of that is that when it comes to taking time off from my job, I mean, I also work a job that's 24/7, 365. There are no days off. There's no holiday. So anytime I take off, I have to take unless I'm scheduled off, which is fine as long as I take it far enough in advance. Because if other people take it, speak of the devil, they're probably calling me to try to get me to come in. But but if somebody else takes it or something like that, now I have to get somebody to work it and so on and so forth. So for me, there's a lot of logistical stuff that goes into this kind of thing. So I was like, listen, I appreciate it and all that. Was the original conversation. I was like, I just have to see if I can make it work with my wife, that kind of stuff. I was like, so I would need a good amount of notice before I was able to, do anything. I was like, so I have to look into it, so on and so forth.
Right.
And then they did this. So I was like, oh, I guess I'm taking that time off from work.
Yeah.
Huh, wow.
That's awesome. That means that you've built a really strong community, and they're behind you, man.
They're insane. That's
awesome.
what they are.
That's awesome, man. Cool. Well, hopefully we helped you with that a little bit there.
Yeah, I just I don't know. I'm still I've only been doing this 6 months, so I'm still always like completely mind blown when things like that go on. Like I remember the first day I got a lot of bits, and I was like, I don't know what to do here.
You're doing the right things, man. Keep doing that.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, man. Well, thank you for the question, and thanks for getting out of bed and calling in.
Yeah, thanks for dragging me out of bed, Green. My one day to sleep in. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I always do it every Friday.
That'd be awesome, guys.
All right.
Love you.
I'll see you later, man.
Love you, girl.
Yeah, I have super strong opinions about monetizations on streams.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's just me, though. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have super strong opinions. But again, I have to keep saying, like, I'm in a different position than somebody else. So, you know what I mean? So somebody else might see it very differently.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, people are saying a lot in the chat that like putting a goal up is like that they wouldn't do it. And I, like for sure, like it's just kind of it's one of those things that just seems grabby. You know what I mean?
I think
and I'm not about that. Like
there's another side of it though, right? As look at Snoop Hogg's situation, right? If the community is asking you to do it because they want to support that goal, then it's kind of the same thing. It's kind of like you can't be like, no, I'm not going to put that goal up if there's 15 people all in your community like saying, dude, like put the damn goal up. We want to donate to it.
right.
Yeah.
But like if they ask you to put up a goal, it's totally different than being like,
I feel like that's
$8,000.
I feel like that's where things get slippery. Like, let's say I want to get people keep telling me my audio sounds like crap. not that they're saying that as an example. And my community was like, hey, man, we want your audio to sound better. Put up a goal for a new microphone or something. Like, if you put that goal up there, I feel like that's done more by the community than by the streamer. I just don't like the streamer saying, I would really like a new mic. Pay for it for me. You know,
I think, I would say like 90% of the time goals are not a good idea to have on your stream. And I see, going through sponsorship applications, there's so many people who like, it's like day one of streaming. They're like, all right, $10,000 graphics card. Let's get the goal going, guys. And it's like, what are you doing?
Like the most subtle things too. Like when I look at people's panels and like some people put like support or whatever, or like, whatever that like something like support or whatever for a panel for donations, and then some of them will put like donate to me or whatever. Like that just seems like that's whoa.
Give me
like,
money.
Hey, you give me your money like right now. Like it's just like the subtle things like that like people don't really think about either.
Right.
You want to know something subtle that grinds my gears?
What's that?
Support or donate panel being the first one.
Oh,
that drives
dude.
me nuts. If I scroll down your page and I see donate before I say hi, my name's Bob or whatever it is, I'm leaving your channel.
Oh, for
straight
sure.
up. I'm not even going to finish reading the panels.
I will say there are minor exceptions to that where it's like a very big streamer and you can tell people are just constantly donating to like get their messages read or whatever, and that's just like how the stream functions. Then it makes sense because people are looking for it anyway, so put it at the top. For 90% of people though, I agree. That's tacky. And then for goals, I think there can be occasions like Tom said that like a goal is a good thing to have up there. Either like your community wants it or it's like you come like to your chat with something that you need like to function. Not like I would like this nice DX Racer chair. Like, no, I need to pay your rent. Like I need to keep the lights on in my house or something. Like in that case, like you're coming out with your community and saying, hey guys, like, yeah, this is free, but it's also, I put a lot of work into it. It's my job. So I'd appreciate it if you would consider just helping me out if this brings any value to you. So I think that can be okay, but not like continuously every single week. Because people do that sometimes too, where it's like they just put it up there every month and then it becomes a bad thing. But
can I answer Snoop's comment? He said I have to consider people that do this as a job. If you can't afford to stream as a job, I don't think you should stream as a job. That's just my straight up and down opinion about that. You know, I feel like if you can't afford to do it, you shouldn't be putting up goals for equipment. Like, you shouldn't make it your job before you have equipment. It's just, that just seems really odd to me. I don't know, but again, I'm coming from a different position as well. If you're gonna put up a goal because you're doing it as a job, like GreenChord said, you should be putting up goals for things that you need, not necessarily things that you want. And you know, talking about like a TwitchCon trip or a brand new mic when you have one already, just seems like, you know what I mean?
Yep,
I don't know.
Absolutely agree too. So if you guys want to comment on that stuff more, because it's a good topic to talk about, you can always call in and ask and bring up stuff. So cool. Well, that was a really good discussion. So thank you for that, Snoop. And we'll probably circle back around to it in a bit. We had a question way back here from Mufter in the Discord who said, on a more personal level, do you have any particular topics that you fall back on to talk about when chat is quiet? So, specifics appreciated. While I tend to narrate, I know that can get a bit stale after a while. So do you guys have like planned topics for, you know, like I kind of have this for StreamKey, for example. Like if we ran out of questions, or if people just don't want to talk about anything for whatever reason, we have topics that we'll go through ahead of time. Do you guys ever plan out like maybe stories to share, or like just things you want to talk about with your chat ahead of time?
I've never really planned anything out. I usually just react to gameplay. Like, that's kind of something that I focus on. It's like finding things related to the game that I'm playing currently. What about you, Tom Cruise?
I do a really bad job. Like, I know that I should be doing that because you have those dead spaces, and like Mufter said, when you narrate too much, it becomes repetitive. I typically just ask people about their lives, and if they don't answer in chat, then I start talking about myself. Whatever I got going on. You know, family stuff even. Like, I tell people in my community know pretty much everything about me. Like, you know, it's TomCruzMomShoes, but they know I'm Gabe. They know I'm married. They know I have a kid. They know, like, I hate my landlord downstairs. Like, they know everything about me. So, you know, I just kind of talk about whatever's going on with me.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty of Twitch too, is just being real and authentic, and talking about what's on your mind. It's actually really interesting for most people here anyway, and it just makes you more of a real person to people. So I think that's a good idea. I will say, Mufter, that having topics to talk about can be good. Especially if something is like hot on people's minds. Like last week we had to talk about E3 because that was like all the news. So I knew that we could spend a lot of time talking about that. This week I have fallback topics like we talked about burnout because there's kind of a gap in there. So just thinking of things can help you ahead of time, but it doesn't have to be like crazy stuff. It could just be about what happened with your landlord downstairs last night or something. So
yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you for that question, Mufter. So the Gingrich is back in the voice chat. I assume he has something to talk about, so let's go find out. Newt, you there, my friend?
The Newt is here again.
Welcome back, Newt. How's it going, Newt?
Doing well. I had a couple questions. First one has escaped me, but I'm remembering the second one, so I'll start with that one. Technically, first one now. So, first, I didn't know how y'all felt about panels at the bottom. I heard a thing from Tom that said he had a pet peeve about like the donation thing being up at the top. Is there any like essential panels that you think you should have down there for like newer streamers or maybe even longtime streamers?
Yes, every single streamer on Twitch needs a schedule panel, hands down. I don't care if you're Ninja. I don't care if you started streaming 5 minutes ago. You need a schedule panel. That is my thoughts on that, because it drives me crazy when I cannot see that on a streamer who's applied for sponsorship. Sorry, that is my barstool, and you guys can give your thoughts now.
Okay, dog.
Yeah, I think schedule is huge because not everybody's able to catch your streams. So if they happen to catch your channel or whatever, like they saw you earlier, forgot to look at your panels, and want to go check to see what time like you're streaming next, or whatever, they can just go to your panels and do that. I think the about you part is pretty huge. Like just like because they're already gonna learn about you. Like they're already gonna know everything after a few of your streams. But like just putting that like little personal touch on your panels is kind of a big deal.
I think so too.
What do you think, Tom Cruise?
Yeah. So panels, I think, again, and I mentioned this earlier, I'm always in people's panels. I'm all up in your business. If I come to your stream, I know what's on your panels. I think about me or some sort of about panel is as important, if not more important than the schedule, because I don't know anything about you when I come to your stream, and you literally have like 15 seconds to get me to stay. And part of that is me looking at how your stream looks and then looking at who you are as a person. And just that little blurb about you kind of tells me something about you. It tells me if you were a veteran, if you work, if you're streaming full time, if you're a competitive player.
I'm a noob.
Sometimes it'll tell me if you're a douche. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I like to get an idea of who I'm watching. So because time is my most valuable resource, and it's everybody's most valuable resource, I need to kind of make a decision in 15 to 30 seconds if I'm going to watch a stream or hang out in the stream. And then if not, I'm going to keep going. I think you do yourself a big disservice by not kind of saying, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is what my goal is too. I mean, it's not as important, but I like to see somebody saying, you know, I stream for fun, or I stream to do this, or whatever it is, whatever their goal is. Sorry, that was it.
No, you're fine.
That was good, man.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. The reason I put so much emphasis on the schedule for myself is because that's something that people can come see when you're not live to know when you will be live. And that's really important because people will go to your channel and see like, oh, he's not streaming. When will he be streaming? And that's so important to have right there so people can know when to come back. But of course, everything else is great to have there too. About me, another really crucial piece. I think you should also be careful. You know, I talked about this with Snoop Hogg, not to let your panels be an excuse not to talk to people, because some people will do that. Will they'll be like, well, go look at the panels below or go check this out below. And then for that reason, like, well, I'm not going to tell you about it. Just go read it. Like, don't do that because that's like the opposite. Of what the panel should do. But like linking to social media, of course, is really good. Keeping everything consistent with your panels is really good. We talked a lot about panels yesterday with Snoop, so this is fresh on my mind. But I would say keep it all consistent with the branding, and just think about simple things that your viewers need. I'd also be careful not to like overload the panels. I know some streamers, like this one guy I watch, has panels that go for miles, and it's just like panel after panel, and you can't find anything, and he's got like paragraphs typed up there, and so just be careful not to like overwhelm people with them either, because at the end of the day, people come to your stream for the stream, not your panels. So yeah,
I feel like the most important things at the top should be like about you. So once people click on your channel, like they scroll down like half an inch and it's already talking about who you are. And then after that, it's like, I think it should be like, I just changed them, and it's like about me, and then my social media is right there instantly. And then you have to scroll down to like to donate, to click on the subscribe thing. And I think that's one of the things that's really important for me, is that like knowing people knowing that like I'm not doing this monetarily. It's good, and like it's definitely a perk to streaming that people can donate to you, but like when people know that you're doing this for fun and to entertain people, that's what like I think shows more about a streamer than anything else.
Yep, absolutely. Cool. You said you had another question that you forgot or something. Is that right?
Yeah, I was trying to think of it while I was listening to you guys. I remembered. So I don't know if you guys have had any of these people personally that you know. I've had a couple people that I've run into that basically drop everything and start streaming, and they just do it full time. I don't know how I feel on that aspect of people just dropping everything and just like straight up streaming and seeing where it goes. I guess it's just like I'm not in the position to do that, and I guess they are. I've never seen like good things come out of that, but I mean it's all up, I guess, to them. But I didn't know what y'all's opinions on that was.
So one thing I'll mention on that is like when you do start focusing, or when you do start relying on streaming to make money, the fun's gonna stop if you need that money like to start streaming, or if you need that money to pay your bills from streaming, like it's gonna take some of the fun away from it. Because if you need to make $50 today and you only make 20, you're not gonna be having fun because that's all you can think about. So it's switching to streaming full time is a really risky move, and streaming's not going to be the same thing once you do it, no matter how much money you're making.
Yeah. Man, this is a good topic because it's a hot one.
Yeah, I like this.
I have known a lot of people who have tried to make that jump and felt pretty confident about it, and all of them have come back and are now doing other things to try and get more income. That said, I think it can work for certain people. I think objectively, like, this is the best way to grow your channel. If you're just talking about like growing on Twitch, doing nothing but streaming is 100% going to be the fastest way to grow. The downside, like Velokk said, is that can backfire in terms of like maybe you end up hating streaming because all you can think about is getting your bills paid. So it's a really tough balance because like if you have like the security financially and in every aspect to just go full time for a while and just stream all the time, then I would say sure. And like you have a good fallback plan in case it doesn't work out. But you have to be really careful because you don't want to like, just assume that you're going to make it on Twitch. And then when you don't, you're just, well, my life's over now. I'm just out of luck. So
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, this one's really edgy. I don't know if Tom has thoughts on this one.
Yeah, and I'm sorry if my opinions are going to seem like super polarizing if there's any
No, these are good.
full-time streamers in chat. I think there's again, my own perspective, right? I think there's very few ways I think people should become like just full-time streamers. One, GreenChord mentioned if you have money and you can pay your bills without depending on the stream and you want to try that out and you have a fallback plan, awesome. I think if you're trying to jump forward and full-time stream without that, you're gonna have your content's not gonna be good. The other way you can go full-time is that if you stream and your channel grows enough that you do the math and you say, I got 2,000 subs and it's more than what I make doing this day job. Maybe I can do this and then get a part-time job for a while and maybe even leave the part-time job in the future. If it's sustainable, I think that's a way to do it. Getting employed by a company maybe to stream might be a way to do that. Again, I don't think anyone should be full-time streaming unless you've done the math and you're able to pay the bills some sort of way without getting any income from your stream, because Twitch is a free platform.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like people do not understand this enough. Like you provide content for free. This show right now is free, right? Twitch is a free platform. It's kind of like YouTube, right? You provide content and then people can pay you if they want. So expecting them to pay you, to me, just seems kind of not genuine, and you should not really go full-time until you're guaranteed to make that enough money to sustain yourself. Yeah, I don't know. That's just the way I see it.
I agree. Yeah, I think even like a lot of the biggest streamers who, had like hundreds of followers and wanted to go full-time were still working like side jobs or something with hundreds of viewers. And subs too, and they would stream all day, but then like still find time to go to a night job or something, and just sleep a little bit. And like, so if these guys who have hundreds of viewers and subs are still not comfortable going full time, and you're like down here in like the single or double digits with viewers and thinking about it, like you should be really, really careful, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You should never go into a stream wondering how much you're going to make that day or saying, I hope I make this much today. That's the wrong attitude.
Absolutely. Right. Cool. Anything else to add to that, man?
No, man. I think that answers it.
Sweet. Thank you for calling in again, and
Thank you so
we'll
much,
see you next week.
All right.
All right.
See you guys.
See you, man.
So lots more questions coming in, and really great topics this week, guys. So thank you for that.
And again, I need to apologize if I'm being polarizing in any sort of way.
No, that's what this show is all about, man.
Very specific opinions, and they're, again, from my own point of view, because I'm living my own experience, right? So I'm gonna have very different opinions than everybody else. So
that's good, dude.
It's good to get really different opinions, though, right? Because like we always say, there's no one right way to do Twitch. So I think it's cool to get people who feel passionately about something rather than lukewarm. So Silent Ghost said a while back, how do you create a balance of subs versus regulars to where you do not alienate the regulars by giving the subs too many perks? And what perks are decent to avoid said alienation? So basically, how do you balance alienating your regular viewers from subs by trying to reward the subs? Do you guys have any thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Treat everybody the same.
No.
Like, well, I mean, like, still give like subs perks and everything,
Yeah.
but like,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah. Like you don't want to like, you need moderators and your subs to all welcome new viewers all the time, and
Right.
viewers who aren't subs. Like, if you have a welcoming community, you're not even gonna have to worry about that. Like,
Right.
it's not so much on like, man, subs get these perks and I'm just a follower. Like, let that follower feel like they're as much of as part of a community as everybody else. And like, that's, I mean, I feel like that's pretty awesome in itself if you can have a community that welcomes everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely agree.
I 100% agree with you. I said no because I know that you have an awesome idea that you have a sub-only Snapchat, right? I thought that was fucking amazing. And I think that, sorry, I'm cursing. And I think that's
Fine.
I think
swear
that's
away.
what he's talking about, those types of perks where they have more direct access to you. I think that just comes with the platform, right? Like the subs get the emotes, they get whatever perks that the caster is offering. You don't necessarily treat them differently, like Velokk said in chat. They're still part of your family, still part of your community. But yeah, I mean, you know, if you're promising some sort of benefit or perk or reward or whatever that is, then you gotta, you know, the people that don't sub need to understand that that's a benefit that they're getting because they decided to support the channel in some sort of
Right. Yeah. Do you guys have any like specific examples of perks that are good that have worked for you that way?
You want to go ahead with this, Tom Cruise?
Yeah, my channel perks are all around gifts. So all of my subs have custom gifts, their own commands that pop up on stream. So tier 1s get the GIF with any sort of chat command that they want. The tier 2s get that with audio, which can become really trollish. People like to choose like gunfire and something, so when I'm playing like PUBG, they can hit their command. And, yeah, so tier 3s, I have one tier 3 sub, and I have an idea. I don't want to share it, but I think it's amazing. I'm going to be singing, but I'm not going to tell you guys what it is exactly. But yeah, other than that, it's just the emotes, and I think the sub badges is going to be amazing once that happens for affiliates as well.
That's a good point. Silent Ghost followed that up with he thinks that maybe giving subs higher odds in a giveaway would possibly alienate regular viewers. I would say not really, because you're still letting regulars participate. You're just giving people who support you a bigger chance of winning it. So you're not like saying you can't enter this giveaway because you don't subscribe. You know, everyone at the end of the day can win, and it's all down to RNG at the end of the day. So
yeah.
Cool. Let's keep moving on here. We have like 10 minutes left, so I'm going to try and blast through some questions here that we got.
Another caller.
Snoop Hogg is back. All right, yeah, let's pull in Snoop. Snoop, welcome back to the show, my man. How you doing?
Hi.
Hey, Snoop. Welcome back.
Since I'm awake now, I figured I'd make sure to get another question in. How do you guys feel about starting an LLC to cover all your bases? So I see a big conversation going on about your personal information getting out. And my look on it is, I mean, I don't know. And maybe it's because of what I do for regular work and stuff like that, that I'm dealing with people. And I'm not too concerned about somebody showing up at my house because, you know, the end result's not going to go well. But my whole thing with it is it's not even so much just it does give you the opportunity to cover yourself and that kind of stuff, but more so in the fact of when it comes to tax season and such. Because now that I'm seeing, you know, while I do this and I love this, I'm seeing so much monetary gain with this right now that it's making me concerned for January.
Do you quickly just want to explain like what that means for people who might not be familiar with the LLC?
All right, so an LLC is a limited liability company. You're able to open them in each state. Each state has different requirements, different paperwork to fill out, you know, different laws on it. But essentially, you create a company, quote unquote, for your stream. So what you would do is like Snoop Hogg Entertainment or Snoop Hogg TV LLC, whatever it is, and it gives you the opportunity to use a business address, whether you actually have to get an office or not. Again, it all depends on your state. Some places let you use a PO box. You could technically use your home address as long as you're, if you live in a community or a housing association, as long as it's not against the rules to run a business, that kind of stuff. But so essentially this gives you not only coverage, but it changes a lot of things come tax season, and it allows you to write off your streaming stuff. So anytime you buy anything related to your business, as long as you can, show how it's related. So like for a stream example, I bought, if I buy a stream deck, I bought 10 video games this year. I bought a new microphone. I bought a new monitor. Now it all becomes a write-off.
Yeah. I think this has really good, I think this is a good thing to think about once you're a little bit down the road and you're streaming. This is kind of like level 3 or something of streaming. For anyone starting, you should not worry about this because it's going to overwhelm you and be kind of crazy. Now, some people were talking in the chat about like privacy issues, and that's a good thing to think about if you want to think about an LLC. But just in terms of like building a brand long term, I think there is value in starting an LLC. I don't know a lot of people who have done it, but I think more people should think about it. Would be my thoughts there. I don't know if Vel or Tom, if you guys are familiar with this at all or know anybody who does it. I
don't. Honestly, in the past, I haven't made enough money on Twitch to even worry about that. I mean, I do make some money, but it hasn't been to a point where I feel like I need to separate myself from, the liability, so to speak, because that's the big part of the LLC is that you're not liable for paying for stuff if something happens, right? I feel like if you seem to be well versed and knowledgeable in it, if you feel that the benefits are there, please tell me because I want to know. That sounds awesome. That you can write some stuff off. That sounds great. But other than that, I really haven't thought too much about it, and I don't really know anyone that's really created a company for their stream that I know of. They're just people. Sole proprietors, is it? Is that the other one?
So the only other thing I can tell you for the privacy aspect, just to touch on it quick, is with PayPal, you can create a business account without being a business.
Right.
What that allows you to do is it allows you to mask your name and your email. And if you have a PO box address, you can enter it that way. So just to cover the privacy stuff, because I know a lot of people apparently are concerned, and it's what sparked my idea, because I've been talking about the LLC thing back and forth with a few people, just poking and seeing what I get out of it. But with PayPal, you can convert to a business account. There's no extra fees involved. There's no extra anything. It's just essentially you're agreeing that, you're running your monetary through something that could be considered a business by PayPal standards, which are next to nothing. I could sell lemonade and be a business according to PayPal.
Right.
Wouldn't creating an LLC make your information more accessible though? Like, isn't you can like Google companies, like who owns the company? I feel like you're doing the opposite.
To an extent, but you'd have to, depending on your state, that's the better way to put it. Depending on your state, how easy it is to look up that information is, because like my state, if I'm not mistaken, I think you have to go to the Chamber of Commerce and fill out an FOI request to get it. So a Freedom of Information request, like you would at a police department or anything else like that. And they have to give it to you by law. But that means unless they're from my state and know they're from my state, you have to be extra good at really trying to stalk me down to come and get that info. But at least with the PayPal end of it, to your identity, quote unquote, on Twitch, you can enter, your stream name, as your name, and then you can use a PO box as an address for that. And then this way, nobody can find you, because you know how it is, especially when you're first starting out, or like you'll see it if you get a tip or a donation. I get the person's full name and email, that donated to my stream. Now, obviously, I'm not somebody who gets it. I'm not Tim the Tap Man who's getting a donation every 10 seconds. So it's not hard for me to line up a username with a name. But, I can see where people could be concerned about it being in the reverse, because it also says, you sent so-and-so, like you sent Devin $100. And I'm like, oh, well, there's my name. But that's cool.
Yeah, I think this topic's really tricky. I would love actually to do an entire discussion on like taxes and bring this into it, or just like privacy, business etc., like long-term stuff. But I would say like people should think about it if nothing else, just like to be open to it. So good topic, man. Anything else to add to that?
You don't have to show profit for like 2 years, according to my accountant. But anyway,
yeah, it'd be awesome if you can get like an accountant or like a CPA or somebody to, best way to set up your finances for streaming. Like that would be an awesome, like cool, like really valuable thing that you guys could do. I mean, it's something to think about.
Yeah, I remember talking to him about an LLC. This is going years back before streaming or anything like that. So I remember some of the information. Because at the time, me and my buddy thought that we could detail cars and make it a business because, we were 18 and smart. But so I had talked to a guy that does my taxes who is now my accountant. He ended up becoming a full-bore accountant. But so it's interesting because I haven't called him yet because I don't know how to even broach this conversation either. I don't know how to call him and be like, hey, I'm making money playing video games on the internet. And he's going to be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's a brave new world with all this stuff, but
yeah. So tax wise, I don't know how it works. I've been withholding, anything I get, and I tell it to my stream all the time. Anything monetary I get always goes back into the stream, whether that be different games that they want to see or upgrading audio equipment, like you were saying, Tom Cruise. If something sounds bad or something doesn't look good, whatever the case may be. But I'm trying to keep a good surplus of that for come January. Because it's not like PayPal and Twitch are withholding tax.
Right.
Yep. All right. So I don't mean to cut you off, but we are wrapping up the show here because it's about 2 hours. So I thank you for asking that question, man. And asking multiple questions. They're all good.
Time flew, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Went fast. We'll see you later, Snoop. Thanks again.
Hey, be good.
See you, bro.
All right. So we're at 2 hours now, guys. I do apologize to a few people because we didn't get to all the questions this time, which is kind of nice actually, just in terms of like having people so many people here asking stuff. I appreciate that. I saw a couple from Tim, from Edible Merkin, Edible X Merkin looks like.
Edible, the dude. All right.
And Arcuros R. If you guys want to get your questions answered, we can still reach out to you via Discord and get those. Don't worry. You can always ask them again next week. We do this every single Friday at 11, so you can come back and see it next week. That's it for us, guys. Velokk, you have anything you want to say to people before we kind of head off here?
Thanks for being here, guys. It was awesome having Tom Cruise on the show.
Yeah,
and it's awesome being back. I missed last week, but yeah, thanks for watching, guys. It's a lot of fun doing this. We love all the questions and everything.
Oh yeah. Tom, anything to say?
I actually found the TRUgaming community through this podcast, man. I found it on YouTube, and a couple of months later, it's crazy that I'm sitting here and annoying people with my stupid opinions. And I appreciate you guys having me. It was really nice talking to you, Velokk and GreenChord again. And thanks, guys.
Of course. Yeah. See you guys. If you're listening to the show, you can come join the community and eventually end up on the show. Funny how that works. So, cool. Well, thank you again, everyone, for coming out. We will see you next week with actually all the next episodes are already planned out, which is crazy. We have Azumat, I think, next week on Friday, I want to say. So this episode, this show next week will be with Azumat. And then we have Chef Lethal Plays next Thursday at noon. So that'd be cool. He does like creative chef streaming. So I think we're going to talk about that sort of stuff. But anyway, we'll see you guys later. Doc's going to come on in just a couple minutes. So stay tuned for some more Fallout goodness. We'll see you later.
Awesome. Take care, guys.
Adios.
Peace.